Hello! Hello, 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 hello. All right, see if we got this thing to work now. Hopefully. All right, getting things set up here. Hopefully, we will get. All right, let's see if we have anyone joining here. Hopefully, we will. And I think we got things kind of working here. Maybe. Hopefully. Hello. Hey, how's it going? See if we'll get more people to join here hopefully shortly. Hello there, Brian. How's it going? And hopefully I got all the settings here right. Guess we shall find out. Okay. All right. I might be a little early too. What time? Well, I guess my time it's actually 7:02, so I guess just have to see if people will join or not. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Scott. Uh, how you doing tonight? Well, if we'll get more people will join us, hopefully. Guess we'll see what happens. I haven't done a live one for a long time. I think the last live ones I did was the ball thing radio, and I was trying to kill it, if I remember right. That's probably been almost a year now, so it's been a long time since I did a live stream. I'm not sure what I guess we're just gonna chat and see if people have questions. I guess is kind of what I'm gonna be kind of doing. I guess is what I'm thinking, or at least that's what I hope. We'll get enough people on here, and uh, may have questions or may not. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I try to pick it later in the evening so most people will be done with supper and hopefully done with work and all that. So at least I hope that's the case. Maybe I picked it too early. Maybe I need to do it later. I guess we'll find out. Do you guys hear me okay? I guess I should probably find that out. Can you hear me okay? At least I hope you can. Maybe they can't hear me. That's why they can't answer. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. I better make sure the microphone's working. That'd be something, right? Sit there and try to talk and no one can hear you. Yep. Brian? Did you sign up for the notification for the Retevis or Midland interface board? I thought I saw your name on there, but maybe I'm mistaken. I do have them back in stock, if you're wondering. Maybe it wasn't you, but I thought your name looks familiar, so I'm kind of thinking that might have been one of the people that wanted the notification. Might have been possibly you. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Scott. Yeah. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me all right. Like I said, I don't want to be talking and no one can hear me, so that would be that would be bad. And pretty much, I guess I'm just kind of doing a question. Yes, I have to wait to get one. Oh, you mean a repeater or the interface board? I'm not sure what you mean there, Brian. Uh, I'm assuming you must mean the actual repeater then. That's what I'm guessing what you mean. Yeah, if you order it, depending on which one you get. If you order it from Retevis to save $40, then you gotta wait for it to come overseas, and that could take a few weeks, but it's worth the savings. Um, Interface, yeah, they're back in stock. I don't know, maybe you didn't get the email there, Brian, but they're back in stock. Um, if you did not, maybe the email went in your spam folder. So I don't know if you were waiting for that email or not, but it should have been sent to you. Well, it's automated, so I'm assuming it should be sent. But maybe it went in your spam folder. But they're back in stock. Just to let you know that, Brian, if you want to go out there and check it out. But they're back in stock. Just FYI. I was kind of afraid that people, they're the automated email system um, may, when it sends out the email, I'm starting to think that people may not have checked their spam folder on a regular basis, and so it probably went in your spam folder. Oh, okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, okay, I just saw what you wrote there, Brian. Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay, good, good. I just want to make sure you got the email. I didn't know if that function was working. Nope, I get you. No, no, I understand. And if you, by the time you get the funds, if it's out of stock, don't worry. I'll get more in and make more of them. So no worries. I'm glad that you got the email though, because I was kind of wondering if that even worked. But that's good to know. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah, and the Midland one is I've have a person that tested on the Midland and it works really well with it. So you should really like it with that Midland and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, no worries. Whenever you can, like I say, just order it. If not, if you go to order it and it's out of stock again, just sign back up type of deal. Not a problem. Um, yeah, so let's see if hopefully more people will join. Maybe they will. I'm kind of waiting for people to join there. Hopefully more will. Yeah, no problem there, Brian. No problem. And I get it. I mean, money's, it's getting tighter and tighter nowadays with everything going up in inflation. And I'm trying to keep the price of my boards from going up. I'm trying really hard. Scott, do you have a repeater board mobile radio? What do you mean by that? Are you talking the one interface board that uses a mobile radio? I guess I'm not really sure what you mean by that there, Scott. I do have an interface board that hooks up to one mobile radio that lets you get a repeater online if the repeater does not have any hookups. So I do have that type of interface board available. So I don't know if that's what you mean there, Scott, or not. That one I do have. Um, I could probably, what I should probably do is post. Let's see if I can do this. Maybe I can pin it. I don't know if that's what you mean or not, but let me see if I can do this. No, maybe I can't pin it. I thought you could pin comments. Oh, wait, maybe you can. Oh, jeez. Pin. There we go. There. So there's the store web address. So you can go there, check it out. Make sure you read the forum. The store will also have links to the forum that has the information on the boards. Whatever board you may be interested in, make sure you read that so you understand what's it for. But I'm assuming that might be what you're talking about. I think maybe, Scott. I'm not for sure, but double check that's what you're wanting. Or maybe you're talking about my other repeater board that hooks up 2 radios. If that's the one you're talking about, no, I'm still testing that. I hope to have that soon, week or 2. Maybe, I bet you probably mean that one. I call that one the repeater controller board that doesn't use any computer. That's probably what I bet that's what you probably mean, Scott. That's what I'm thinking. I bet that's what you mean. Repeater controller board. Repeater controller board is what I call that one. But if that's the one you're talking about, yeah, not yet. Hopefully in a couple more weeks. Matter of fact, you can see it in the video here. I have the prototype right here still running. And I'm using this radio, and then I'm using this handheld hooked up to the amplifier, and then the duplexer. So that's the one that I'm using now. Yeah. So, but I bet you that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean, Scott. So yeah, yep. I bet you that's what you mean. You get a sip of pop there. Yeah, that one, like I say, I hope I have in a couple weeks. I'm still testing it. So far, it's been working great. And that one, you can take 2 mobile radios and make them into a repeater. I think it's going to be a really neat board. Like I said, I'm still testing it. It's been working really good. So far, so good. As a matter of fact, I have it right. It's this one right here. So, a couple more weeks. I got to test a little bit more. I should maybe 2 to 3 weeks ish, give or take. So, I just want to make sure it's all working good. Yeah, that's the board you're probably talking about. Yeah, you're talking about taking 2 mobile. Hey there, J-Dub. It's going okay. How about yourself? I hope you're feeling better. But yeah, Scott, I'm assuming you're talking about taking 2 mobile radios and make them into a repeater. That's the board you're probably talking about. That's one I'm still testing. This one right here, still testing it. So yeah. No, the repeater controller board would not be able to really do any tones because there's no computer hookup to it. Unless the radio, it's got tone capabilities. I think some. I know the Retevis 2 repeaters, or Retevis's 2 radios that you can make into a repeater. I believe they have tone capabilities built in the radios, but this particular interface board will not. Oh, that's good to hear. Feeling better. That's good to hear. So yeah. Well, hey man, at least you can join a little bit here, but yeah, Scott. So yeah, this one, since there's no computer, you wouldn't be able to run software to have any tone control. No. Oh, I guess maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. If I guess I better back up. If you're setting tones for your repeater, then the radio itself can do tones. So I think maybe that's what you're asking me, Scott. If you're talking PL tones, then the radio itself would do those. You won't need a computer. Yeah, like J Dub says, the RA87 has DTMF tones. Motorola repeater. How about with the Motorola repeater? What's I guess Scott B. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Can you elaborate a little bit more, maybe? I'm trying to. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Sorry about that, Scott B. I'm not sure what you mean. How about the Motorola repeater? If you're talking the other interface board for the Bridgecom that I hope will work with the Motorola repeaters and all that good stuff, I'm still working on that one. Maybe that's what you're asking me. I got some of the cable, some of the parts in. I have to build it, finish building it, but I got my connectors in. Oh, the Midland. How about the Midland repeater? Okay, Midland. What about the Midland? Which Midland? You mean the Midland MX? What is it? MXR10 model? Are you asking about that interface board? Because those I have back in stock. If that's what you're asking me, Scott B. Maybe that's what you're asking me. Those are back in stock. But yeah, Scott B. I think you're asking me repeater tones. I'm assuming you mean the PL tones. That's all done within the radio, so you don't need to worry about the board doing that if you're talking the PL tones, or what else they call them, CT, SS or whatever. That's all done with the radio. Yeah, we don't have to worry about how good is the Midland repeater. Well, funny you should ask that there, Scott, because J Dubs has that repeater, and he's on here, and it works really good. And how do you do a tone on them? The Midland, you can set the tones in the software. You hook up your programming cable and you can set your tones in there. J Dubs Adventure on here, he's got the Midland, and he's got one of my interface boards hooked up to his Midland, and he really likes that Midland. It works really, really well. I think he's got that at another location, if I remember right. But I don't know. Maybe J Dubs will chime in here in a little bit. But the tones are done. The PL tones are done on the repeater itself, not on the interface board or the radio. Like if I took two mobile radios, I got to make sure I set the same tone in each radio, obviously. So all that's done in the radio, not the board. At least not with my board. But I think matter of fact, let me check something here. I believe, let me see if I can get this to go. I don't know why it does that, but whatever. Let's see if I can show you something here. Bear with me here. Okay. Here is, and maybe you're not familiar with the software. Let's see here. I think he's talking about the station ID number. Okay. Oh, okay. Um, Yeah, I don't know. Station ID, well, that would be, if you got the Midland repeater, you can use the interface board. If you got the Midland MXR10, I think that's the model number, you can use the interface board to do station ID if that's all you want by using a laptop or a mini PC, or actually you can even use a Raspberry Pi if you only want to run one program at a time. You can use a Raspberry Pi with that Windows image that I did, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, station ID. You would use the Midland or the Retevis, no matter which one, with my interface board. You set it up to ID itself with the Simplex software. You convert your call sign to a tone if you choose to. Or you can just pre-record your voice and have that be the ID. Most people convert it to Morse code though. That's real simple to do. I got links on my forum how to convert your call sign into Morse code. Then you save it as an audio file, and then you take that and play it every 15 minutes. So that's done with Simplex software. Um, all that should be on my forum on how to set up, and videos too. I believe I got videos on that too that show you how to do that. But yeah, you can do all that with the interface board. Matter of fact, I will, hopefully I don't crash my computer here, because I'm not using the best computer for this, to be honest with you. So let me try something here once. Let's see if we can get fancy. Alright, let's try this once. Look at that. Oh, look at that. So yeah, you would just set for the station ID, you go under configurations, beacon text, you would select your WAV file, set it to 15 minutes here. You probably can't see my cursor, or maybe you can. Set your 15 minutes there, and then away you go. That's how you would do your station ID with that interface board there. Hopefully that answers your question. I got videos on it too. If you search my YouTube, you'll see all the videos on how to do it. I try to do videos step by step. I think, matter of fact, well, I don't know if that video shows it or not, but I try to do videos step by step. I try to do pictures with words, so it's easy to kind of set up. So, but yeah, I believe I have video on how to set that up, the station ID. Matter of fact, if you just want station ID, I would just use the Raspberry Pi and use the image. That way you can buy a Raspberry Pi for $35. An app or a link, that is. Yeah, it's let me do this. Give me a second here. Let me post. Bear with me here. Let me post here the link to the forum that will have all that information for you, that will help you read about it. There's links, there's pictures, videos. That might be the easiest way to do this. So let me go ahead and get that link here for you. Bear with me right here. Okay, here is the link to the forum that has all the information on how to use the interface board with the Midland or Retevis repeater. So there you go. That has the links, the video links, everything all on one page. That will help you with the date and time, or if you want to do just repeater ID. Or are you just looking just to only do repeater ID then, Scott? Is that what you're wanting to do only? Or do you want to do more than that? Scott B, I should say. If you hear a noise, it's me raising my microphone so I can take a sip of pop, if you're wondering what that noise was. Matter of fact, I think I did a whole, well, that video I did, it was like an hour, but that did the Zello, date and time. And I don't know if I did repeater ID in that one video or not. I thought I did. Or maybe I just showed you how to set up the Simplex software. I don't remember. Just repeater ID for now. Okay, so what I would do if I was you, if you just want repeater ID and you want to do as cheap as possible, you could use a Raspberry Pi in that window image and then only run the repeaters or the Simplex software doing date and time. I have that image on my forum. The only thing with Raspberry Pi in the window image is that when you use the Raspberry Pi in the Windows 10 image, we can only run one program at a time. We can't run 3 at a time like we can with a regular laptop or with a mini PC. But that's not a big deal. If you just want to do repeater ID, you could, spend $35 on the Raspberry Pi and just have it do the ID part. Or you could spend a few more dollars and get a mini PC, which may not be a bad idea. So in the future, if you want to do something else, you already have the mini PC. So that's something to think about too. But technically, you could just use the Raspberry Pi in my window image to do a repeater ID, and that's it. You just walk away, and that's it. Yeah, you could do like J-Dub said, you could use the date and time and just do repeater ID on that. You can uncheck the date and time if you don't want it. You could uncheck that and just have it do its ID every 15 minutes. But yeah, Raspberry Pi would be the cheapest, like I was saying. That'd be the cheapest way to do that. I should have brought my Raspberry Pi out here. I didn't think of it. But yeah, I mean, that's the cheapest way. It's got to be a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. I have that. Let me post that link too about the Raspberry Pi. Give me a second here. I'll post that link too. You can read about that image so you kind of know about it, understand it. So let me post it. Let me post it. Okay, make sure I got the right one here. This here should be the link to the Raspberry Pi information. You might have to sign up on the forum. It's free to do to view that particular link. I don't remember, but just that should tell you what you need. You're going to need you're still going to need a USB sound card. You're going to need a special FTDI cable, USB to DB9. It's all on there. It's all on that page, so you'll know exactly what you got to get. The nice thing about the Raspberry Pi, it's cheap. It boots up when the power comes back on. And if you put the date and time or the Simplex in the startup menu, it will automatically start it up. You could do that. But yeah, just check it out. If you have any questions, just send me an email or something, and I can answer them too. Um, you know, so that's yeah, but that should give you an idea. The only thing bad about the Raspberry Pi, well, I should rephrase that. The only thing bad about Raspberry Pi running Windows 11 or Windows 10, I cannot run 3 programs at once. That's the only downside of it. So, let's see, Nature Coast Prepping. I'm assuming you're meaning the interface board that lets you take 2 mobile radios and put them into a repeater. I'm assuming that's what you're asking me. I got to come up with better names for these interface boards because it gets kind of confusing which board we're talking about. But I'm assuming you mean that one. Is that what you're talking about? Nature Coast Prepping, I believe that's the name is. Bear with me. I'm old. I can't see. No problem, Scott. Be there. No problem. So yeah, the coast prepping there. Is that what you're talking about? The mobile one that you take two mobile radios and make them into a repeater. Is that what the board you're asking about? Because if that's what you're asking about, I'm hoping in a couple more weeks. It gets kind of confusing. I know I got to come up with better names. I keep saying interface board. People are like, oh, which one? We got to come up with better names. I mean, yeah, I think I'm starting to figure this out, that we got to come up with a name. The mobile, just to try to clear the air, the mobile repeater controller board that lets you hook up 2 mobile radios, I call that the repeater controller board. That's why I'm calling that one repeater controller board, because it's not really an interface. It's just a repeater controller board. The other one that lets you hook up a mobile radio to a computer so you can get a repeater online, I'm going to call that the DB9 interface board. And then the other interface board is the Midland or Retevis interface board. So I don't know, hopefully that will help with the confusion. I do got to come up with better names though. I just can't keep saying interface board. That's kind of my fault. But the repeater controller board that uses 2 mobile radios with no computer hookup, that's going to be a few more weeks yet. Yeah, be like, yeah, I know. Yeah, just give it random letters. The KG1000 mobile. Ain't that the model that you can put in repeater mode to begin with? Ain't that the model that does that, or am I thinking of a different model? I think it is that model, ain't it? That you can get the cable and put them in repeater mode. I think. Gosh, I can't remember now. You remember that, J Dubs? Is that the model that does that? The KG1000. I thought that's what that model you can put in repeater mode without using an interface board. Well, that wouldn't give you Zello and repeater ID, but it would let you take 2 mobile radios and put them into a full repeater. I think it is the K1000. Wuxen, I believe. I think that is. I'd have to look up the model number. No, I have to look it up because now it's bothering me. I'm pretty sure you don't need an interface board for that model. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It's got yeah, there's Scott. If you got 2 KG1000s, you don't need a repeater controller board. You can just put those 2 radios into repeater mode and use a special cable, I believe. So you don't need the board for that. My board for that model. Matter of fact, I can even let me quickly check here. There might be I'm looking here quick if I can find you a web link there, Scott, to see if I can post a web link so you can see how to. Well, I'm going to do it the first one I found. So let me post this link here. And let me make sure it comes up here, and I'll post it here for you. Maybe. My internet's really pokey. Oh, yeah, there's even a video on how to do it. So here you go. Okay, here you go. Let me post this for you. There, Scott. Maybe, if I know what the heck I'm doing here. Okay, go to this link. There's a video. It tells you what you're going to need. It tells you how to put those radios. You'll need 2 radios, a power supply. There's also some you can read, and there's also a video. So go there, Scott, and read about how to put those 2 radios into repeater mode. You don't need no other controller board to do that. So hopefully that will help you, get you on the right track. But that was, like I said, that's got, it looks like, I just glanced at it, that has the description about it and what you're going to need, and then then there's actually a video that probably show you how to do it step by step. So that's what you'll need 2 radios. Now, don't forget, you're going to need a duplexer if you just want one antenna. And that duplexer should be tuned to the frequency you want to use. But you can buy away to a radio. I think they sell duplexers, as a matter of fact. Yeah, no problem there. No problem. Yep. So, and like I said, buy away 2-way radios. I think they sell duplexers. I believe so. But if you need a duplexer, get a hold of them and they'll tune it for you and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, some model of mobiles you can do that without needing a controller board, like the Retevis RT97. That's one model that you can take 2 radios, plug in a cable, and away you go. Or the KG1000s. Those also are the mobiles that have built-in repeater function, and you can take 2 of those and put them into a full repeater. And if you just want to use one antenna, then you're going to need a duplexer. Otherwise, you have to run 2 antennas, 2 coaxes, and all that fun stuff. It's just better off getting that duplexer and be done with it. Unless you can put them real far apart, the 2 antennas. But even at that, I still would just get a duplexer and be done with it. So, Nature Coast Prepping, I don't know if you're still on here or not. I hope that answered your question about the repeater interface. I'm assuming you mean the repeater controller board. I'm assuming you mean that one. I'm hoping a few more weeks. It's going to be a few more weeks yet. I'm just trying to get... And remember, too, I should point out, and I forget to mention this in videos, as I'm testing this interface board, I'm ordering parts, and I got to wait for the parts to get here. So when I do say I'm ready, I have everything here, and we can, go forward with it. So keep that in mind. Parts are trickling in as I'm testing any type of interface board that I come up with. I try to order the parts because sometimes they take a few weeks just to get some of these parts in. So keep that in mind too. So by the time I do the repeater controller board, I'll have all the parts here. I just got to get the circuit boards made up, and then I got to put the circuit boards back together. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear that there, J-Dubs, that they're still working good. Yeah, they're I try to make them as solid. I try to not make them complicated. I try not to over design it. I want it to be solid and last for years, many years, many years. Um, Hopefully the radio will die before my board does. That's what my goal is when I design something, or at least I try to. Also, too, the thing of it is that I don't want to rush. Obviously, I want to test things for a while, make sure it's good and solid before I start to say I'm ready. So keep that in mind too. I know sometimes it feels like it takes forever, but it's just best if I test it really good. Then I know, hey, we're good. So that's the thing that I got to make sure that I also do. Try to keep things going as good as possible. And sometimes getting parts take longer than I plan too. That don't help either, to be honest. I've had that happen too. Uh, Parts were supposed to come. I haven't got a part now that's supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what happened. The seller's trying to figure it out, and so sometimes that delays things too, which would suck. Um, but what do? You just got to wait it out. It sucks. But usually they get here pretty much when they say it's going to be here. It's usually here within that day or the next day. But I've had a few cases where they just nope, don't know what happened to them. To this day, we don't know. They're out and somewhere, who knows. Is the TYT radio repeater working? Yeah, it's yeah. So far I had it off today because I was playing with the other repeater, but I'm assuming you mean the two mobile radios I got in repeater mode, or not in repeater mode, but two mobile radios I got hooked up as a repeater using my repeater controller board. Um, yeah, that's still working great. I believe I got most of the parts in. I'm still waiting. I gotta sit down and that I gotta sit down and draw the CAD file up, and that's just I just hate doing that's a pain. Let's see, what's there, Brian? I got my Midland portable plastic. There are no repeaters. Oh, okay. Well, if you got your Midland portable, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, J Dub is right. If your SWRs are low, truth be told, my Retevis repeater, I had a connection, my little barrel connection went bad, and it just happened here again lately, and my SWRs were way over 2. No, actually, they were like 3 or 4. It was really high. I didn't know it was high. It ran a week like that and it didn't hurt the repeater at all. Just FYI. So they're pretty tough little repeaters. I just happened, and the only reason why I noticed something was wrong, because matter of fact, I think I was doing a video, or I was going to do a video and a distance test. And I went and got in my car and I started going the distance where I could normally go and hit the repeater. So I went to my normal spot and the repeater, I wasn't hitting it. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? I should be able to hit it here. I've had all the other times. That's why I went back and I checked it. And sure enough, that's when the SWRs were high. And that's when I noticed it. So that's how I noticed that. So, but it was like that for at least a week, if not longer. So, and it's fine. I just checked it. Still does the 6 watts output. Still working fine. So, that's one nice thing about doing the distance tests with your repeater is that once you establish where your repeater can go, where it can't go. And if you keep tabs of that and you check it, maybe every couple of weeks, you'll be able to find out if there's something wrong with the repeater. That's what's kind of nice. So that's how I found out, like I said, with mine. I went to my normal spot and it wasn't hitting the repeater. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute here. So that's how I figured that out. So, yeah. And I think I still have, I should try it once. I don't know if I still, oh wait, it must be playing now.
24. Time
Yep.
7:45.
So that's the
Outdoor temperature 70.
repeater controller board,
3 miles per hour. Wind chill
right here with the two mobiles, or a mobile and then the handheld with the amplifier. I don't know if you can hear the date and time go over the radio. So yeah, so it's still fired up. I don't know if you saw the red light on there. So yeah, it's still going. I let it run date and time every 15 minutes, I believe, so I can keep working the board pretty hard. So that's what I've been doing. Now I do have it on low. Actually, I could go to high now because I do have an antenna hooked up actually for the an actual antenna. So I could probably put it on high power. And like I said, I hope in a few more weeks I'll have the repeater controller board that does not use a computer available. A few more weeks yet. I gotta do the CAD file. I believe all my parts are in. I gotta double check. And then that's it. So it's been testing really well so far. And I got it, like I said, every 15 minutes. I got it to it's IDing every 15 minutes with my weather, so it's camped the repeater constantly. And I mean this setup here as my repeater. Yeah, heat shrink tube fixes a lot of stuff. That's the best way to do it. Seal that connection up really good. That's what I really, I should really go and get better. They actually sell heat shrink tubing that's got dielectric grease, I believe, inside of it, that really helps seals things up. I believe it's dielectric grease. Maybe it's something else in there. But they sell that. That's good for connections. Makes it more waterproof. But yeah, heat shrink tubing is definitely a plus when it comes to antennas. And that once you put that on there, you shrink it good and tight, she won't get water in there at all. You could submerge it in a tank of water and it wouldn't get water in there. But that's every connection you got to really do well, and then you'll be trouble free. I'm lucky enough where my repeater's here, so I can easily fix it. I don't have to go to a repeater site and all that stuff. But either way, you want to try to do it with some good heat shrink type tubing to help seal your connections. Yeah, it's got like hot. Yeah. There's some stuff inside of it. Yeah, it works really well. Once you put it on there, good luck getting it off. Even cutting it off, you can't hardly get it off. But yeah, J-Dubs. Yeah, that's it's like hot glue stuff in there or something. Works really. It seals it really well. That's the best way to definitely do that. That way you don't have to fix it like I keep doing. I got mine still pretty good now, but I should have done it better the first time. But you know how that goes. I'll do it later. I just want to get up and running so I can do test some other stuff. So that was kind of my bad there. I should have done it more better to begin with. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of. I guess I when I did this live stream, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, and not a lot of. I should have probably set something up more or something, But I guess maybe next time I'll try to have something more, you know. Yeah. Hit the That's true, J Dubs. Yeah, maybe next time I'll try to do something a little more neater or cooler or something. I didn't really. It's kind of just a chat type of a live stream, I guess. People got questions, I'll answer them, type of thing. So I guess that's what this one's kind of about. Nothing really exciting per se, but you know, I guess it's gives people an opportunity if they want to ask a question. I know some people don't want to email or stuff like that, so. I have a little problem with Zell software. Users can talk to the repeater, but can't hear the repeater. Okay, what? So let me. When you key up a radio, does that go over Zello? Let me ask you that. If you key up a handheld, a mobile radio, does that play over Zello? Yes or no, or is that what you mean? Or do you mean if you key up a tablet or a phone and that does not play over the radio? So I guess I'm trying to where users can talk. Yeah, that's true. Gotta make now. Well, yeah, if you have it so that your Zello channel, when you set up your Zello channel, there's an option there where you can trust users or have all users be trusted. So it depends on where you have that. I can hear it on my phone, but others can't. Okay. Then you have permissions set wrong in your Zello channel. You must have it, so people got to get permission before they can talk. I bet that's what's kind of going on. That's what, especially if you can hear it on your phone. That tells me the COM ports, the COM ports are working, the volume was okay, but I'm wondering if you don't have a permissions setting in there that you got to change, because if you can do that with Zello in your repeater channel, you can set it so that people can't key up unless they got permission. So that's what it sounds like. Because if you can hear it on your phone, but others can't, that's what it sounds like, a permission setting. Because if you have, like if I have a setting wrong, like on my repeater, if I have a setting wrong, then it don't work for anybody, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because if you can hear it on your phone, but others can't, that's what I'm thinking that you got going on. But check that, yeah, see if that will help with your problem. That's what it kind of sounds like. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little, once you get it set up, then you kind of, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Sometimes getting there can be frustrating. You pull your hair out and you're like, what's going on? I've done that too before. I've done stuff and I'm like, why is it not working? It just worked a day ago. And, there's a setting and, yeah, no problem. But yeah, it's easy to do. I do it all the time. So no matter what level you're at, it still happens. It happens to me. Happens to all of us. And I usually can get it. I one time, it's embarrassing this is, I was testing an interface board, and it wasn't working, and I was like, what the heck is going on? It just worked, and I bet you I screwed around for 2 hours, and here I had I don't know why it happened or how it happened, I don't know, but I didn't have my Zello on the right channel. The phone was on the channel, but my Zello on the computer was on the wrong one. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good work. Yeah, right. Yep, yeah, it's a good little board. Like I was just saying, I try to make it so she's gonna outlast everything else. So I'm glad I'm glad it's working good for you there. That's good to hear. Mine's chugging along. Although I can only have so many repeaters going at once, obviously, or they interfere with each other. So I have to shut mine off. That's the problem with my. And there's videos out there where I tell people, and every now and then I'll get an email saying, "Hey, is your repeater online? Because it's not working." And I'll be like, "No, sorry. I shut it down because I'm testing something else." So that's kind of the downside of having all these repeaters here. I can only have one on at a time, and I got to shut one of them off, and it kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm glad it's been working great for you. It's good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, speaking of mistakes, another time, it's embarrassing this is, but I was working on an interface board, and I'm keying up the radios, and nothing's working. I'm like, what is going on? Why ain't nothing working? Oh, I forgot to plug it in. Gee, it's one of those days. Yeah, I forgot to plug in the power supply. Well, that's why it doesn't work, duh. But yeah, I've done all kinds of stupid stuff like that. It happens all the time. What I could do? I don't know if I can really. I might be able to do a tour. Well, maybe we'll do another live stream, a tour of the GMRS shack. Although a lot of the videos you can kind of see most of it. There's not much to see, but yeah, blame Bill. Yeah, no shit, blame Bill Gates, pain in my ass. That's what he is. Yeah, I did. I did that, and no one really wanted to play with it. As a matter of fact, I did a video on that J Dubs week or so ago, 2 weeks ago now. I said, hey, you can test the repeater controller board. I have it hooked up to Zello. I had all of it going, and no one really played with it. So I'm like, well, I might as well turn it off and try something else. But yeah, or I could, yeah, I had on Zello, but yeah, I could just do it so that people can play with it just with the radio, not hook up Zello. I could leave it that way too, I suppose. What I need to do is install another tall antenna. Then I have one tall one, because my main one is in the other room, not by the bench, which is not a big deal. But if I want to test something, I got to unhook it from the bench, go over to the other one, unhook the other repeater, shut that all down, shut down my Retevis, then hook it up. I should really put another 30-foot pole. I was thinking about that today. Another 30-foot pole, as far away as I can, and have that be by the bench. Another bench antenna. I should probably do that. I think I got enough pipe laying around. I could probably do it, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Bill Gates. I like how he updates shit all the time. It's like, just leave it alone. I know it's for security reasons, supposedly, and all this other stuff, but I tell you, I'm so sick of updates. My God. Same with the phones and tablets. Updates. Well, I think my date and time's going now. Maybe.
66 degrees. Wind speed 9.
So you can see the transmitter light on there. Yeah, so, yep, date and time still keying it up. That repeater controller board's still working good. Yeah, flagpole's a good one too. I don't know. I got to do something with my main antenna. Yeah, it's not the best way I have it. I need to do something. I'm thinking about getting a telephone pole and then rig up a track system on it so that I can raise the antenna up and down. Some type of a track system, like a garage door, opener, and build a track on there, and then I don't have to climb the telephone pole. But I've been thinking about that, but I'm not sure. We'll have to kind of see what, I was going to build something this summer, but I don't know if I got that windmill. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I got a windmill that fell down for free. I had to take it all apart. Scott, are you asking me or are you asking J Dubs? Who are you asking there, Scott? Because the range is going to depend on how high your antenna is, well, obviously, and how good of a location you have your repeater at. So that's going to be a big effect on that. But for me, my Retevis repeater, as I've said in a lot of my videos, I'm in a very bad location. I'm in a worst location ever for a repeater, just period. I'm in a valley in a hole, and I can go about 2 miles with handhelds. So I can go about 2 miles with mine. But again, like I said, mine's in a hole. If I didn't live in a hole, it'd be probably better. But I go about 2 miles with handhelds. Oh yeah, that'd be cool if you did. Yeah, I got that windmill. Actually, I probably wouldn't build a whole windmill. I'd modify it, just make a tower, like a foot by a foot type of deal. But I don't know. I was gonna do that, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of building. But maybe I'll come up with something this summer. We'll see. We'll kind of wing it, see how the summer goes. But yeah, too bad it wasn't that close. I'll have to move somewhere else. Ah. But I think the telephone pole would be a cool idea too. Just plop that in the ground, build a track system. Well, build a track system first before you put it in the ground, obviously. But some type of up and down, the garage door opener or something, that'd be kind of cool. I'd have to sit there and try to figure it out, but that'd be really neat. Then just lower it, fix the antenna, and then push a button and have it raise the antenna up. That'd be kind of neat. So I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. You get all these ideas, and it's a matter of finding time to do it, or something else comes up, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't get that done. I was going to do that windmill thing last summer. Matter of fact, I never did. But I got all the metal for it. Well, at least most of it. Some of the metal was mangled pretty bad from when it blew over in a bad storm. That's what happened to the windmill. It had vines growing on it, and the vines acted like a wind barrier, and the wind caught it. It was a really bad windstorm we had last summer, and with the vines on it, it caught that wind, and it just bent it right over. It was a big old, probably an old windmill. I don't know how old it was. Yeah, like a track, yeah, like a flagpole, yeah, some type of track or something. I'm not really sure. The telephone pole would be, the reason why I say that, because that's already 30, 40 feet. So I just got to mount the track system on there and then plop it in the ground. I'm pretty sure I can probably borrow my neighbor's tractor down the street to help move the pole around. But I don't have the telephone pole. I just saw they're just putting up some new poles down the street here, so I should stop there and ask them, hey, can I have your old poles? probably won't give them to me though, probably, but don't hurt to ask. So hopefully that answers your question there, Scott. I get about 2 miles on handhelds, but don't, like I said, I'm in a bad spot I'm in a valley, so that's a worse place for a repeater. But 2 miles ain't bad though, considering. So, and I'm running a 30-foot mass pipe with the Retevis's what is that? High gain. I think it's the M04 antenna, I believe. And then I have LMR 400, if you're wondering there, Scott. Oh yeah. Some companies will give them away to get a certain age or something. I should have asked them down the street, but if I see them, I'm going to ask them if I can have one of their telephone poles. That'd be really cool. That would save me a lot of time than trying to build something from the ground up. I really don't want to do that, but I mean, I can if I need to, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the summer brings. So, Scott, do you have your repeater up then, or I think you said, yeah, you got your Midland. Do you have it all hooked up or not yet there, Scott? Maybe he's not on here. I don't know if he's still on here or not. Maybe he's not. Let me see. I don't know if it can tell me in here or not. Huh. I don't think you can look. I don't know if you can really see. Well, nevertheless, I don't know. Maybe he's gone. I was just kind of curious if he has it set up at all or not. Maybe he doesn't have it set up yet. Well, it's like my little computer's working pretty good. Not yet. Okay. Yeah, like I say, you probably got a better location than I do. I don't know where you live or if you're by bluffs or if it's a flat area where you live or whatnot. But obviously, antenna height is the main key. If you get the antenna high as possible, you'll get really good range. I don't know if you're able to do that or not, but higher the better. Or if you know of a place where you can put your repeater at that's high, maybe that might be another thing to think of. I'm hoping someday to move my repeater to a better location. I'm not sure where yet, but I was hoping on a water tower, but the one I want to go to, they won't let me because there's cellular stuff on there. And they're in contract with this other company that they're not allowed to put any other radio gear up there while the cellular people are there. So that kind of sucked. So what do you do? Because that was kind of close to me, so that'd been a really good spot. That I could have wirelessly got that repeater online. That'd been really cool. But nope, of course not. So I'll have to see what else I can come up with, if anything. Well, at least I know this computer I got seems to do okay for the CPU does get kind of percentage wise. Ooh, it's not the best computer for this, but it is what it is. My other computer died. My one that was really good, that worked really well for live streaming. It was really fast. That one died. So yeah. So what do you do? But this one here is doing okay, but this ain't the best computer. I can tell with the CPU, it's up 46% already. Oofta. So I gotta be careful what I do. Do you need a duplexer? No, no. If you already have the Midland repeater, that's got it built in. I think you said you had a Midland repeater, I believe you said. I thought you said a Midland repeater. Maybe I maybe. No, no, you got the KG. Okay, KG1000s. My bad. Yeah, well, if you want one antenna, yes. Yes, you will need a duplexer. That'd be the easiest way. Running two antennas and two coaxes, and then the antenna's got to be, minimum 30 feet apart, and that's even may not even be enough. So yeah, I would get a duplexer. But a two-way radio should have that. They should tune it to what you need to, what frequency. I think I get you another Scott mixed up. Because Scott B, I believe, is the one that has the Retevis. So, yeah, sometimes I get the names mixed up there, so bear with me. Yeah, like J-Dub said, duplex would be better. You don't want to screw on two antennas, especially with the 1000 radios. They're kind of, it can be, you don't want them to descend. So yeah, I would definitely get a duplexer for those radios. Like I said, buy a two-way radio. I think that they will tune it for you too to the frequency you want. I think that's part of buying the duplexer from them, if I'm not mistaken. Send them an email just to make sure. But I think they'll tune it for you with no additional cost. That's like I said, the best way to do it. You don't want to screw on two antennas. That would be a pain. I wouldn't even want to do it. Two coaxes, two antennas, just two SWRs. Nah. Well, the receive one, you probably don't got to adjust the SWR, but still a lot of monkeying around. The duplex should be the best way. Be done with it. One antenna, be done. You'll lose a little bit of power. You'll suck a little bit of power away, but that's just the way it is. Maybe the next live stream I'll try to do. I don't know. I guess we'll kind of see. Maybe I'll do more radio stuff. Maybe do a live stream with, I don't know, hooking up radio gear, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll try to think of something. Maybe that would, be more entertaining than probably just, answering questions. But still, I'll try to think of something. I'm not sure what yet. Well, hey, if anyone has any suggestions for what type of live stream they would like to see, shoot me an email. I'm always open to suggestions. I'll post my email address in the chat here. See if I did this right. There you go. Or maybe I should just take off maybe if I just do this, it will highlight it. Let's try this again. See what that does. Nope, I guess it doesn't. Okay, well, never mind. I didn't know if it'd make it a link or not, but nevertheless, there's my email. If you guys out there want to do any suggestions, is it true that certain separations need between the radios to form? I don't know. I have these ones you see in the video here. And normally, do I have a tape measure? I think I have a tape measure. Of course, can't find it. I believe between this radio here and here, top of here to the bottom of here, I only have 6 inches. And and I don't have a problem. I did a video on my distance test with these two radios here, I believe, and I was using that one repeater controller board that I made. Not this one, I think it was the other one, but I only have 6 inches here, and I didn't have a problem with my distance. But some radios could be more sensitive. I guess what I would tell people to do, if you're going to build a rack, maybe before you build your rack, do a test. Take a couple of cardboard boxes or just something, just to, put you want airflow obviously too, but put like one on a wooden block, and then maybe put a couple wooden blocks in between, just to have them set on each other, and then do a quick test to see how it works. See if you hear any interference or any type of problems. That's what I would suggest to do before you build your rack. But I haven't, like I said, I got about, I think it's 6 inches from here, from the top of this radio to the bottom of this radio. I believe it's 6 inches, if I remember right. I don't have a tape measure. I thought I had a tape measure in here, but I don't know where it went to. Things disappear, it seems like. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But, obviously, too, you want airflow, so don't put them real close either. You know what I mean? You want airflow in between them. Hopefully that answers your question. I always do a test. I like doing a test for anything before I make a permanent type of stand or a permanent mount, or I always test the layout first and then go ahead and build it just to make sure, because it sucks doing things twice. I've done that a few times already, or redoing things. But I thought I had a tape measure, and of course I don't. I don't know where it went to. Tape measures and screwdrivers seem to walk away, don't they? Screwdrivers are really prone to walk away. Set it down, like, where'd my screwdriver go? Those are two things that never stay where they're at. So hopefully that answers your question there. But yeah, I did post, back to what I was saying before. I did post my email address, so, if you guys got any suggestions for what type of live stream you may want to watch or see or something, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email and say, hey, what about doing something like this? And I'm always open to ideas. And, shoot me an email. And, I'll see what I can do. Depending on what type of request you have, obviously, if it doesn't require any, equipment that I may not have here, but for the most part, I usually have most things here for the most part. But if there's a certain live stream you want to see, shoot me an email and make a suggestion. I'm always open to suggestions. So don't be afraid to do that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna now it's bothering me. Now I have to go measure that. I'll be right back. I'll leave the live stream on. Be right back. So I'll be right back here. I'm gonna mute the sound here, but I'm gonna go grab a tape measure because I am curious now. So I'll be back here in a minute or two. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, like, Jay, there shouldn't be that much difference. The only thing would be for, airflow for cooling. But I got these, or maybe I lied. These are almost about 5 inches apart. But I like to have room for the cooling too. You got to keep that in mind. If you want to put a fan in there or something. But yeah, I seen them really close together. And usually that's not a problem. So hopefully that answers your question there. I had to go get a tape measure because it bothered me. I couldn't remember how many inches I had. But it looks about 5 from the top of this to the bottom of this is about 5. This is just sitting up here. I've mounted this. I left space in between here for cooling too. But when I first started this venture, I only had this radio and this radio hooked up. These were only ones that were had in repeater with my little controller board here. But then I tried the handheld with the amplifier hooked up, and that's why I did that, I guess. Just to try something different. That's why I used the handheld here with the amplifier. So. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to probably be ending this live stream here pretty soon here. I do appreciate you guys, ones that did joining me on here. And like I said, if you got any live stream suggestions, please shoot me an email, and I'll see what we can do. I may do another one. Maybe I'll do one on the weekend. Maybe a weekend would be better. More people might be more to tune in compared to a Monday night. So, but maybe I'll try like a Saturday or a Sunday. Maybe a Sunday might be a good one too. I don't know. We'll see. But at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. And thanks everybody for joining. I appreciate that. And we hope to do this again soon. And visit my website, my store, my forum. Any questions, like I say, shoot me an email. And everyone out there, have a good evening. And we'll talk to you soon now. Thanks again for joining.